Thanks again for tuning in to the Coaching Moment. We've got a great question that came in regard to expectations today, and how when expectations aren't met, that can really tend to throw you off your game for a few days or even longer than that, and keep you from being present with whatever it is that you're trying to do at that time. And so what typically happens, and I've been having this conversation with a few coaching clients recently, what tends to happen is that expectations, number one, are typically thought of very positively. This gives us an idea of what it is that we're trying to achieve, what it is that we're orienting ourselves to, the type of results that we may be looking for. That's wonderful. That works very, very well. What usually happens, though, and one of the challenges of where our expectations may bring out disappointment or get us upset, is that we tend to then get attached to what those expectations are. We use that as a formula to tell us this is how things must be. This is how things must occur. And it's the stress of things not occurring that way that actually is what creates the disappointment. We then usually use our expectations as essentially a list of criteria to start judging, because expectations, when they're not met, will lead us to start to judge others as well as to judge ourselves. And so that's really, again, where some of the stress starts to come out. You know, you've got to really know yourself. Know thyself, as they always say, when it comes to expectations not being met. Understand that when that occurs, do you freak out? Do you disengage? How do you start to judge yourself or others? Is there any blame associated, again, of self or of others? Think about how that may reinforce the message of that inner critic, that fear, that voice in our head that's telling us, hey, you need to do more, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough. Take a look at how when the expectations aren't met, it reinforces some of those negative voices, how it reinforces any of that self-doubt. As opposed to individuals that are very positively or anabolically oriented, when their expectations aren't necessarily met, what they're really saying is that things just simply occurred differently than I thought they would, and now I want to get some information for what worked well and what didn't. They use it as an opportunity to learn and grow. They use it as an opportunity to take a look at, hey, this is the 80% that really worked, and it was pretty close to what I thought was going to happen. Here's the 20% that I can still learn and grow from. And so they use that as an opportunity. They find purpose in every single circumstance. Because expectations do have a very positive benefit. It gives us goals. It gives us clarity around those goals and allows us to set up plans. And this is the key part. It allows us to set up plans to go about achieving those goals or creating those types of experiences. What we're doing at this moment, when we're switching around our perspective of what expectations truly are, we're putting our confidence in the process and not attaching ourselves to the results. If you put your confidence in the process, the results are ultimately going to follow. You're putting yourself in a position where you can control the steps that you take, the way that you choose to cultivate a given experience, how you choose to orient yourself towards any situation that's out there. That is something that at all times lies with you. That power is always within you. So place your confidence in yourself, place your confidence in the process, and let the results come. So the question that I've got for you is, what is it that you can do to keep your focus on the process that will ultimately create the results that you're after? And then once those results start to come in, how else can you begin to view them, whether or not they were as expected? Thanks again for joining me on the Coaching Moment. Talk to you soon.